They're big truck patches. We raised our own sweet potatoes, we raised our orange potatoes. We raised our own vegetables and put up enough beans and all kinds of vegetables to do us almost a year round. And so I guess
Sounds like you were pretty busy all year long.
so that's about it. We didn't have, of course, water and electricity and things, and we a lot of times the well would be almost I don't know how far from the house, but we'd carry water in two big buckets and long ways, and we'd wash in outside, and we'd wash in a big kettle outside with, you know, put on the rocks and put wood and things under the boiler and wash it with a wash tub, and we'd boil our clothes instead of washing them in the washing machine. And
did you make your own soap?
we made our own soap.
Yeah. What about lights? Did you
We
use
had
lanterns?
kerosene lamps.
Yeah.
And we'd buy that with our eggs when we'd sell eggs. And we'd take our eggs to the store. We'd have big baskets full of them. We'd carry them off in big baskets. And then time come along whenever they sold corn stalks. I don't know whether anybody ever heard of that or not, but in the fall of the year or in winter time, like corn stalks would be in the field, and we'd go out and cut the corn stalks and bring them up in the yard. And then we'd put them down across the log, and we'd cut the joints off each one and leave them, and then we'd take them in the house or in there and we'd peel them. And it just to be the peppy parts, we'd just get great big sacks full of them, sacks after sacks. And then we'd take them to the store and sell them and help them get money that way.
What would they use them for?
I don't know what they used them for, but they sold them.
Huh.
And then in the spring of the year, they had mayapple roots. We'd dig mayaples and went on and on, and it wouldn't. And I finally got married. Well, of course, went on. Let's see. I'll tell about how much time we got.
Plenty. Go ahead.
Well, on through life. Well, I'll tell a little more down there.
Okay.
Well, I had a half brother on mother's side. His name was Alvy, and mother had married a cook before, and his name was Alvy. Well, when he was home, me and him would go out in the fields and work. We'd hitch up the teams and get out, and we'd do this and do that together. But after he'd grown up, he went into the standing army and joined the army. And he went to Mexico. And I can't remember, I was about 11 or 12 years old at that time. And he got sick, and they sent him he was in Mexico, and they sent him to New Mexico, and he died. He didn't live long. Well, they shipped him back home. And of course, that just broke mother's heart. She was like almost killed her in a way, and she took it real hard, and it hurt my dad. Of course, it was just stepson, but he felt like it is a whole lot his cause because he didn't get along too good with my stepbrother. And so his health went to fail him, and he got down, he didn't live too long after then, and he died. And then mother was left with all of us kids. Let's see how many of us, about 6 of us kids. And I had one older sister than me, and she wasn't in too good a health. And she was always weakly. And her name was Winnie, and she later on married Esley Snodgrass, as Robert Esley's mother. And so, let's see, then later on, let's see, where am I at?
Well, you can tell about when you met your husband, your first husband.
Oh, yeah. Well, later on, my sister grown up, and she married Esther Snodgrass, and then later on in years I went ahead and married, and I had a little girl named Leody, but we didn't get along, so marriage played out, I went back home. And the sister died and left her little boy, and mother taking it over and took care of it, and I was back home with mother, and mother had me and my little girl, Leody, and then she had Winnie's little boy. And we taken over a switchboard and kept it for a few years, and run it for several years and helped to make a living. Well, after Alvy died, mother got a little pension. She got $12 a month to help raise her children on, and that's all she had, you know, for a long time to live on. We got $12 and what little she could make otherwise, you know, doing this and that, you know. And so then after, later on then, and I married again after a few years, and we came up here to Ohio, and we got a job and worked up here, and that was in 44 when I come to Ohio, 1944.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that was Henry?
Henry White.
Yeah, Henry White.
And it's time to run out, ain't it?
No? We got 2 hours or so total work.
A long time. I could put a little more in, but I'll just cut it short. So.
Oh, okay. Keep talking.
And
Now you're in Ohio.
I'm up here in Ohio now, and where was I at? Where, Ohio, and
You went to work in the factory, didn't you?
yeah, I got me a job at Fabricators, and worked there a long time until, and it was during World II, and I worked there until the war was over, and my husband, he didn't come up when I did, but he come up later, and he got him a job, and Loretta, of course, she had married before, you know, we came up here, and she and her husband had separated, and she was left with 2 boys, and she and my husband come up, and she brought her 2 boys with her, so she lived with us, and she had kept him, and we have to raise them boys on up until they was very big boys, and so my husband worked at Tempton Rolling Barn Company, and I can't remember it lately like I did way back.
You remember them, Brian? No. They were just little ones when we saw them last time. That's what two girls are.
You lie, work. Hey, I like, hey.
Right here.
Hey, Rick. Half a day. I know that. Doesn't look like
They only got 5 bands there. They got almost 10,000 people there, all elbow to elbow. Give the drinks.
No, I haven't been there
Birds. There's no birds around here. That's down at the corner.
Grandma?
I don't want to get near the pond. It might get dirty.
Germany's close to the
They don't have no pollution control in here.
It's the Black Forest. You're doing something else for your room.
Oh, there's Carl. Hi, Carl.
I found out about that with my secret one is environmental.
Ben, they're right.
This sunrise is trying to go through there right now. I know I got short distance travel
Where you're going to My first play, I made it. Her boy and his wife.
A reflection. Insane, you know? Yeah, I could do this with
They're down in the water, waiting around Alan and Betty.
Hey, you got talk and sound too.
Don't sit still. That ruins the whole purpose.
No way. You're thinking about it, huh? Look out.
But naturally, right?
This one's falling apart.
But at least should be something up here. Great.
What are you doing? You're determined to break that thing, aren't you? That's not all right. Duggar's back.